What's up, everybody? It's Mike Bibby with Thomas Scott on Buckets and Breakdowns, brought to you by Ballers Life.
I'm Coach Thomas Scott, and if you're listening or watching this podcast, it means one thing. You want to learn how to get buckets from the best in the world. This is the Hoopers Podcast. This is Buckets and Breakdowns.
Yes, sir. We got Mike Bibby in the building.
What's going on, Thomas?
Hey, man. I'm good. Thank you for spending some time to break down some buckets. I grew up a big fan. We got so many ties. And, I admire your career and your accomplishments. And so, I want to shed light on that, man, and give you your flowers. And also,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. You got a lot that you brought to the league, and certainly a lot of things that young players have and can learn from. So, man, let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about where you come from, Arizona, man. What was that basketball scene like?
It was tough because a lot of people didn't really give credit to us guys out here. It was either New York, California, or Texas. So we had to work a little bit harder out here. It's very few people since me that has made it to the league, a little bit after me, I kind of brought up, played with the same AAU team and stuff like that. But it was tough playing here because, there was like one or two AAU teams that you play on, and it wasn't as many as there is now today for sure. But we had to go make our mark. We went on the Las Vegas trips and went to California's. We beat the Slam and Jams. We beat the K-Swiss. Those were the California teams back then, the Slam and Jams and K-Swiss. So, just had to go there and show what we could do. And people realized that, there is some ballers out in Arizona.
Yeah, man. Were there some certain players in particular that you remember that you had to go head-to-head against?
There was a PTI team. We played against Shea Cotton, Illusion McMahon, Kenny Bruner, Jason Hart. I mean, they had a lot of guys out there, that were like – that we used to go against all the time, playing the championships all the time. Shea Cotton, man-child. Kenny Bruner, high school. I forget where he went to college at. Jason Hart played with me in Sacramento, NBA player. So, there was a whole bunch of teams. The team from California, that was the best team in California, obviously. And, we always went against them. I don't think we ever beat them. But, we really didn't have much to go against a team like that. Had a lot of D1 players and stuff like that. But, you all the way up through high school, went to the McDonald's game, the Nike All-American camp, and stuff like that. It was just a great thing for me to push. I never looked at myself like that. I always, I got my first letter at 8th grade, and I was just happy to get letters. George McLeod. Either John McLeod or George McLeod used to coach Notre Dame Irish. I think he might have coached in the NBA too as well. But I always just think dang, these schools want me. And that's the way I've always thought. I was always humble, and growing up in high school, you just want to have fun and play with your friends and play basketball at the park and stuff like that. So I really never really put the extra work in until I got to college, and that's when I really decided I'm not going to let nothing stop me from getting to where I need to be. The only thing that's going to stop me is me, and I'm not going to let that happen.
So, coming up as a prep, you obviously had your dad who played pro. He also was a coach. What kind of fundamentals did he instill in you early on that helped propel for the rest of your career?
No, there was nothing really that he taught me. A lot of time he was gone. So, he coached in Puerto Rico and Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. So he was around doing coaching stuff. So I really kind of grew up without him, as far as, my high school, middle school, high school days. It was kind of just me, my mom, my brothers, and my sister. So, it was just, I don't know. I think I was just smart basketball wise, and it just came naturally just to make guys try to be better. I played with a lot of guys. I played with a lot of basketball growing up, and my teams were never that good. And growing up, I think I have a video when I was in maybe 4th grade, 5th grade. I'm the tallest guy in the court. My number was 53. but I'm bringing the ball up the court. You know what I mean? So I'm the point guard and the tallest guy in the court, but I also had to guard the biggest guy on the other end. So, I grew a lot quicker than a lot of other kids. I thought I was going to keep growing. The doctor said I was supposed to be 6'5". I stopped, but it was just a situation like that. I just think that I had the natural smarts and saw stuff, that other people didn't see.
Right. So you mentioned, you played McDonald's All-American, but you were also Mr. Basketball in '96, correct? Like
for Arizona.
For
Yeah,
Arizona.
I played with Kobe, Jermaine O'Neal, Tim Thomas, Ronnie Field, all these guys, Steve Jackson, all these guys were in '96. I think we had one of the best high school classes, coming out, So, I mean, Kobe Bryant got USA Today Player of the Year. I got Player of the Year for Arizona, Gatorade Player of the Year, Arizona.
Man, that was, in my opinion, the best class ever, '96. I mean, you can't top that.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of pros to come out of there, especially go D1 and do some damage in D1 as well.
So you were in college though at Arizona. You had something going on that I've never seen before. You had the pennies before Penny had them. How were you able to get the pennies before Penny even had them?
I don't think I got him before he did. I just wore him before. I wore him before he did.
How does that? What?
I mean, Pac-12 school. You get a lot of perks that a lot of other schools don't get. And I remember the Nike guy coming to us and just talking about the shoe. Because back then you wore it. There wasn't a lot of colored shoes that you wore. A lot of the cool thing back then was you wear shoes that match your uniform. And when he came in, he's like, "Hey, I got a shoe. It doesn't match your guys' uniforms, but they're not out yet either. So if you guys want to wear them, I'm going to give everybody on the team a pair. If you guys want to wear them, wear them." And I said, I don't care what the color they are. I don't care how heavy they are. I don't care how slippery they are. I was going to wear them just to not make a statement, I've never been in a situation like that to where I have a shoe that hasn't hit the market yet. I think that was the biggest thing for me, to where I'm going to wear a shoe that nobody's seen before, and it's going to cause a lot of stuff. I think it made Penny mad. He couldn't be mad at us. We were college kids, but he might have got mad at the Nike people or whatever, just letting us wear it before he had a chance to.
That's crazy. But let's stay with Arizona, man. Talk about those years making that transition from a high school phenom to college, fitting in and doing the damage you were able to do.
It was, I think Coach Olsen and Bobby were a big part of that. Coach Olsen let you play to your strengths. There are a lot of coaches these days, you make one mistake and now you can't make another mistake and you're coming out the game. And a lot of kids, you shouldn't have to play like that. And he let us play. Whether you make mistakes, you play how you want to play to your strengths. A lot of coaches don't let you do that. And I think that's what opened everything up. The thing that, the guys brought me in. We had a great core. We had a great team. Everybody was great, being on the Arizona team. And the thing that opened my eyes was when we were in the tournament, Coach Olsen, had a meeting and told me, Mike, I need you to be aggressive. I need you to play basketball and be aggressive. Don't worry about stepping on toes. Don't worry about that. And that opened everything up for me to where I felt comfortable. Like, okay, coach is saying this in front of everybody. I could go out there and do what I got to do. And that's opened everything up for me in the tournament. I just started to excel.
Yeah, so you guys won that national championship. That's crazy. That's the odds of doing that and winning that, is insane.
It was good. We got hot at the right time. We beat 3 number ones. I think we're the only team to ever beat 3 number ones in the tournament. But we got hot at the right time. I think we were like the 4th or 5th seed coming out of the Pac-12, like 5th place, or sorry, Pac-10, 5th place. And, we got lucky and got a number 4 seed. So, I think that helped a lot too, being in the number 4 seed and being able to take the route we have. We had a tough road. We played Providence. We played Kansas. We played North Carolina. all to get there. We had 2 tough scares in the first 2 sessions of College of Charleston and South Alabama. I think we were both down. We're down at halftime in both those games, but we were down one part of the game. But I mean, we got past those 2 games and realized, we got to turn it on. We got hot at the right time. Everybody got hot.
Yeah.
In a one game tournament like that, Thomas, you got to get hot. You got to get hot at the right time. You could win. You could go 32-0. I think Kansas was like 34-0 when they played us, and their only loss. So it doesn't matter what you do during the season. You just got to get hot at the right time.
Absolutely, and be healthy, right?
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely,
for sure.
So, going from college, how did you know you were ready for the pros, and that whole process, college, in between getting drafted to the NBA?
Well, I was 18. I just turned 19 in the summer. I knew I wasn't ready. I was still a young kid. Wasn't physically ready. Wasn't mentally ready to take that grind yet. And I decided to come back. A lot of people were telling me to come out for the draft. You need to come out. You need to come out. And I knew I wasn't ready. And, I just told myself, go do one more year, do good year, do what you got to do, and things will take care of itself. So after I did my sophomore year, I knew I was ready to come out just for the accolades and stuff that I got. And I got Pac-10 Player of the Year that year, All-American preseason. So, I knew going in, we lost in the Elite 8, but I knew I had nothing else to prove at that level. I knew it was time for me to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you get a chance to get drafted. You shake the commissioner's hand. You go to Memphis. Talk about that whole experience.
Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver. I'm sorry, it was Vancouver
first. It
was
Vancouver then.
How could I forget?
Yeah.
Me of all people.
Vancouver.
Yeah, so you go to Vancouver.
It was tough. I just turned 20 years old, probably like a month before that. And, I'm a mama's boy. I like to be around my family. I like to have people with me. I just had my son in college. So, I got a newborn. Going there at 19 years old, 20 years old, as a kid, you dream of playing for the Suns, your home team, or the Lakers, or the Bulls, or the Knicks, or something like that. And, it was always, I was grateful and humbled to be chosen there, but it was somewhere I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go out of the country. And, I sat down with the GM and the head coach at the time, and I told him, I said, I don't want to play here. And, they looked at me like, well, if you don't go number 1, we're going to take you at 2, whatever, and you're the best player available, we're going to take you at 2. And, I didn't want to, you see with Francis, I didn't want to do that. But it was just, like I said, I was humbled and glad to be there. And, I'm a professional. I made the best of the situation I could. And it was just a hard take. But I think you get in situations for the long run. And the funny thing is, I played there 3 years in Vancouver, and the year they moved, they traded me. So they traded me to Sacramento. They moved to Memphis after that. So the story was that Michael Heisley, rest in peace, he came to me and was like, Mike, we're gonna rebuild. We're gonna trade you. Is there any teams that you're looking to go to so we could try to put you in? I've been traded 3 or 4 or 5 times, or 3 or 4 times, 3 times, but no GM or owner has ever came to me and said that. And, I respected that. And he came to me and was like, hey, what's the top 5 teams you would like to play for? And, I ran out my 5 teams. I forget what I said. I said the Suns. I know I said the Suns because I play here. I live here. I said Sacramento. I think I said the Pacers. Maybe Lakers. You know what I mean? So I said, and then he's like, well, what's the number 1 team you want to play for? Like, what's the number 1 team you would like to go to? And I said, I'd like to play for Sacramento Kings.
Oh, wow.
And he came back like a week or 2 later on draft night. They traded me. And it was because the reason I wanted to go there is because I remember we'd have probably 6,000 people at our game in Vancouver, 7,000 people. And when you play these other teams that aren't that good, not many people go to the games when you're out of state. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to Sacramento, and last game of the season, we're not playing for anything. There's about 16, 17, 18,000 people in the stands. Yep. And it just made you feel good to like people want to watch you. People want to. I know they weren't there to see us. You know what I mean? So it was just a good situation. I wanted to be in an environment like that, to where you have fans like that, and fans get you over the humps a lot of times and stuff like that. I wanted to be in that situation, and I mean, going there, it was like, I still have friends from both teams, but going there, being traded for Jason Williams, I didn't know how they accept me. Jason Williams, fan favorite, teammate, one of the favorite teammates, and going there, just from being there, those guys, I respect what those guys did, because they made me feel like I had played there my whole career from just being there, and I didn't know how they accept me, and that just made it so comfortable for me to be in that situation. There was no assholes on the team. There was everybody understood. Chris Webber was the alpha dog. Everybody else followed in the line, and everybody played their role and did what they had to do to win games. And I love that.
Yeah, man. I love that Sacramento crowd, that fan base. It's amazing. One of my favorite crowds in the NBA. I spent some time in Sac. Matter of fact, I just missed you. I graduated high school out there, and you came in that following year. So,
what high school did you go to?
I went to Granite Bay High School.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a really good football team. It was a brand new school, but C Webb and those guys showed me a lot of support. Peja, those are great guys. Vlade, all those dudes, man, unbelievable
great
dudes.
Guy.
So getting the chance to play with C Webb, he was one of my favorite power forwards. Very unselfish, but could dominate when needed. Talk about playing with a guy like C Webb.
It's just kind of like a cheat code, kind of. I remember the first few times in practice, I'm running through, I cut through, and Coach Creel tells me, Mike, you better turn around. The ball's going to hit you in the head. You know what I mean? So I was like, damn. So, I wasn't used to that, so I had to get used to the way that Vlade and Webb passed. And, I think Webb is probably one of the best top 3 big men passers of all time.
I agree.
And mid-range jumper, he had the knockdown mid-range shot. And he'll take you inside. He's tough. He doesn't back down from anything. And it was just a great situation to play with a guy like that, to where he knew he was the alpha dog too, but he had faith in everybody else that was on the team. And I think that's what made it so good.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite teams to watch. It was who'd you guys have at the 2?
Doug Christie, Peja Stojakovic, Hito Turkoglu, Vlade, Bobby Jackson, Gerald Wallace, Team Cleese. You could go all the way down. We had a good set of guys.
Man, what were those practices like, man? Because the guys you mentioned off the bench, man, they ain't no slouches.
It was good. We always battle, always. And like I said, I think that's what made it so good too. Our second group was just as good as a lot of starting fives. So I think that gave us the best thing every day, best team to go against every day.
Mm-hmm. The bench mob. I remember they called them the bench mob.
Scott Pollard.
Scott.
I'm trying to remember everybody. Okay, I got Bobby Jackson. We had Funderburk. We had
Lawrence.
Yeah,
let me tell you, those guys showed me so much love when my dad was an assistant there. Showed me so much love, man. I miss those guys, man.
Yeah, they're a great set of guys. Like I said, the way they treated me is like I didn't know what to expect coming in. Like I said, from a favorite teammate and a favorite fan favorite. The fans took great to me. The team took great to me. That was probably one of the best times I had in my career. A lot of my kids grew up there. 3 of my kids grew up there. But it was just good to be a part. I still have friends that I talk to from Sacramento to this day. And, it was a good situation. Like I said, I think I got put in that Vancouver situation to go to Sacramento. So I think everything happens for a reason. I think that's the reason why I was there.
Hey, man, I mean, this is a little off subject, but you still have a crazy Jordan collection right now. It's stupid, retarded. And I want to know, how did that come out to be? Because not everybody could get in that Team Jordan shoe brand.
You know what? I think they had the first original five. They had Ray Allen, Michael Finley, Eddie Jones, Derek Anderson, and Vin Baker. So they had them for like 1 year, I think. And then as a rookie coming in, I had the same agent as Michael Jordan. So my agent was David Falk. Still is David Falk. And he was like, "Would you wanna wear Brian Jordan? You want to wear Jordan?" I said, "Hell yeah!" And I mean, it was over from there. You know, I got it from my rookie year. You know, I still have it to this day. They still take care of me. They still get boxes every month, and it's a great situation to be in. You know, everybody wants Jordan shoes. It's something I didn't really have much of growing up, and just to have it unlimited stuff like that, and get the stuff before it comes out. The biggest thing with me is for getting the stuff that comes out before the stores, so you can go out there and show, people what's coming out and stuff like that. That was the greatest situation for me, and I've always saved my shoes up. I've always, I got in my house. I got two closets. It was supposed to be one that when they built the house, they didn't build it big enough for one, so I had to turn a garage into a closet. But,
oh my goodness!
But I mean, I've saved a lot of shoes ever since I've been playing.
Yeah, man. What's your favorite pair, man? What's your go-to?
I like the 11s. You can't go wrong with the 11s. I like the 5s, the 13s. I mean, you could go all the way down the line, but absolutely. I think if I was to like go in my closet, I like black, so I like the cap and gown black, so everything's blacked out. The 11s, you always go good with the patent leather, white and black ones that he wore in the games. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the 11s.
Okay. So, I want to talk about your game a little bit, man, because from what I remember, you were extremely efficient with the basketball and very efficient with your shot selection and shot making, especially from deep pick and roll reads. How were you able to develop that? But, I'll just start by one. How are you able to knock down shots the way you were able to in your career?
I put a lot of work in, Thomas. I spent hours in the gym, hours. I'd make 750 shots a day. And I'd have to go to a gym where the court was being used, so it would take me about 4 or 5 hours to get that done. And so, once I told myself, you get a lot of money, build a gym in your house. So now you can shoot at home where you don't have to wait for anybody. And then I'll finish about an hour and a half, 2 hours, those shots. So, I put enough work in that when I got out there on the court, it was second nature. I've done this before. I've done this a lot of times before. So when I got in the game, I expected to make every shot I took because I've done it so many times. And, I tell these young kids today, I could outshoot you. I said, I've been shooting longer than you've been alive. So you can't tell, I've been doing it for that long. So I put the effort in. I put the hard work in. And, I had the most confidence in myself. Give me the ball, I'll shoot it. It's either going to go in or you're going to miss. There's only two things it could do, So I always thought it was going to go in.
Right, man. And because you have that type of shooting ability, it limits people from going under the screen and pick and roll. So talk about that advantage of being able to shoot with pick and roll, but also your reads and what you're looking for in pick and roll.
My biggest thing was I take my time. You see a lot of kids that, I've taught a lot of, G League, pro kids and stuff like that. Everybody wants to move so fast, but you can't read what the defender's doing if you're going 100 miles per hour. So if you ever watch any of my things, I'm always taking my time. I'm going at my speed, taking my time to where I can see, which I come off a pick and roll. Now I can see that you're going under. Now I can pop back the shot. I see you trailing me. Now I can make a play at the basket. So the main thing was me. I take my time. Don't let nobody speed me up. And, defense is hard to play. And you always got to react to what I'm doing. So I always knew what I had to do. I had secondary moves, third moves. So if you stop me here, I know what I'll do next.
So when would you say is the right time to drop the ball to a big man in pick and roll?
You set a good screen. I put pressure on the big man, big man's going to have to make a decision. He's either going to come to me. If you set a good screen, the guard's always going to mostly come back to the guard. So the big's going to have to take me. If he doesn't take me, I either got a shot or a layup. He has to take me. I put pressure on him. That leaves the big open.
Yeah. See, if you can explain it very easy, it must have came to you easy.
Yeah, it was good. I always say you set a good screen. Like towards my later years, I used to set good screens because I knew if I set good screens, I'm gonna be able to get the shot. So people don't understand. A lot of people get out there and don't really set a screen, but you're not gonna be able to pass the ball to them if you don't have the advantage. So I always tell them, set a good screen to where now your man has to guard me. That's gonna leave you wide open.
So I remember during this time, obviously there was that trade, you and Jason Williams, and you guys go at it. Was there anybody else or anybody in the league that brought the best out of you matchup-wise that you used to look forward to going up against?
It didn't really matter to me. I just loved going against. I mean, in the West, you're going against top players every night. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Marbury was out there. Steve Nash, Tony Parker, Chris Paul. I mean, you go all the way down the line. There was never really a night off. I mean, you might have 1 or 2 nights off, but there wasn't that many. The person that gave me the most problems, I think, was Stephon Marbury. You know, I hated guarding him because, I mean, he was strong, he was quick, he was fast, he was athletic, he's strong. He's going to get 30 shots. You know what I mean? So you're going to have your work cut out for you. A lot of point guards back then, you know, was getting 10, 12 shots a game. You could deal with that. But when the guards coming out there and have 30 shots and taking the most shots on the team, you got to work on both ends. And, you know, I hated guarding him. Hated him.
Right. So is there anything that you had to learn on your path of how you were being scouted? How did you deal with being scouted and making adjustments?
You just got to you got to adjust to it. You know what I mean? You know, my biggest thing was they'd always try to make me use a screen. I like to reject the screen because you find a lot of dummies that try to beat you over the screen. And the thing is, I had a pretty good hang dribble to where I hang. My thing, I used to hop a lot. I used to hop so I could change directions a little quick. You don't know which way I'm going to go. So I hopped a lot. But I mean, you just adjusted. You see how they're playing. You can see it. They're calling in the game. Send them down. So, I mean, it's easy to adjust some of the stuff that they're doing. And a lot of these guys, you know, I let the game come to me a lot of the time, too. I take what they give me and go from there. A lot of these guys come out here and try to, you know, a lot of high schools, I got to score right from the start. Point guard-wise, I always tell my point guards, make the plays first. Because after you start making those plays, the defense, there isn't going to be as much help as there was at the beginning. You know, you get my point guards on my team, my guards in high school that I coached were our better players. And they'd always try to get double team and try to take 2 or 3 people on. And I said, make those plays and to where they have to respect those guys as well. Now that's going to open up the court for you. You play the whole game. You know, it isn't like you come out, you're going to get your points. You know, he said just to make the right plays and things will take care of itself.
Man, I wish I could have played for you.
I'm very easy. I played the game. I'm not going to, like I said, even if you came to my team and you couldn't shoot, I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I've heard coaches from my son, from kids that come in that if you can't shoot, don't take that shot. How can you tell that to a kid? You know, I even if you can't shoot and I see you in the gym working on your shot, take whatever shot you like. If you feel like you take it, be comfortable with just plays. But I need everybody to help defensively and everybody moving on the string defensively and be ready to anticipate that next pass. I don't care what you do on offense. Just be unselfish and play together. Defensively, I put a lot of work in on the defensive end to where everybody moves at the same time. He goes to help. This person needs to be over to help this person. This person has to be able to help that person. So I tied that in a lot to where, you know, we were doing defensive rotations every day all season, no matter when it was during the season. And, you know, a lot of high school kids don't see that, get trapped. And now that next pass that is usually open isn't open because our guy is already there taking it away. And, you know, I mean, I treated these guys like to get ready for that next level. You know, I probably put probably 30 high school kids into Division I, just, football, basketball, whatever they're playing, and just to get them ready for the next level and put them in situations to where, how many times I've heard, Coach Mike, we're doing that same thing that you taught us. I said, I'm teaching you guys the right things. You guys think I'm harping on you guys, but I'm really not. I'm just trying to get them ready because I've seen everything that they're going to see or they want to do.
Man, that's awesome. I mean, I remember your high school coaching days, and I think you're still doing it now, right? But
no, I don't coach in high school anymore. I'm trying to get in the NBA. Waiting for somebody to give me a chance. I did the NBA combine this past summer a couple months ago, so I got to coach in that. Did the G League bubble, so I'm working my way up, and I think somebody, as soon as a team gives me a chance, they're going to be really happy with the people that gave me a chance. I work my ass off. I want to get the kids better. I care. I really care about the kids. I want to see the kids do good, on and off the court. I want to make them better men. I want to have them respect women. I mean, everything. I want to teach them everything that a father figure would kind of teach them. And I think once a team gives me a chance and they see that, it's gonna take off.
Well, you certainly don't lack the accolades. You're great with working with young players, and every year the NBA is getting younger and younger. So
yes,
with your IQ and your experience, I mean, it's just a matter of time.
You'll see once somebody gives me a chance, Thomas, I'm gonna go all out. You're gonna see.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna see that team jump from wherever they're at and go up.
And really, basketball right now, as far as point guard play, it really models the way that you play. Being able to shoot from distance, make plays and pick and roll, manipulate the bigs.
But you have to be taught. You have to be taught certain things. Everybody goes 100 miles per hour. You can't make any reads going that fast. And I'm just trying to teach these kids, slow down. Go at your pace. Change the speed. My biggest thing was change the speed. I wasn't the fastest, but I could change speed good. I could get to wherever I wanted on the court because I changed speeds. So once these kids learn to change speeds, but you have to be taught it. You know what I mean? No one's teaching it.
Absolutely.
I want to teach it.
How many state championships do you have?
I think we're 6 out of 7. And I mean, we're the only public school to go to Geico National Tournament. I think we're the only team we went twice with nobody over 6'5". So our first year we ended up playing Mount Verde. They got R.J. Barrett. I can't remember if they had any other pros on there. The next year we ended up playing Scotty Barnes and Vernon Carey's high school. Remember, Scotty Barnes 6'8", Vernon Carey's about 6'9", 6'10". We don't have nobody over 6'5". And we lost to them by 10, I think. You know what I mean? So we held our own, a lot of guard play, but they sat our best player out that game too. That game, like the AIA here, like they run all the referees and all that stuff. They run the high school stuff out here. Kicked them out of the last game of the season. We're up 40. They kicked him out of the season, knowing we're going to Geico. Now he can't play.
But you know what? It seems like your guys were well coached. Either way,
they were. I mean, and they respected the grind. You know what I mean? I was tough on them. We did college stuff. We had shoot arounds. We watched film. We had study hall. If your grades were bad, you got to be in study hall, get your work done, makeup work, all that stuff. So I made sure these guys, we looked out for the SAT. Make sure you guys get your SAT stuff done, get signed up for it so you can get into college. A lot of these high schools don't even set these kids up for that. So we are preparing for the next level to where when you get to that spot, it's the same thing you did in high school,
So when you left the Kings, where did you end up going?
I got traded to Atlanta. So, the funny part is, too, I was supposed to get traded to the Lakers. I had talked to Kobe, but I think the Maloofs ended up not wanting me to trade me to the Lakers. So I didn't end up going there. So that trade fell through.
Do you remember who was involved in that trade you were supposed to be in against the Lakers or with the Lakers?
No, I don't. They never told me who was involved. It was just, it was, it could have happened. I had talked to Kobe on the phone, and he was kind of pushing for it, to try to make it happen, and it just, it fell through. It ended up not going, and then Cleveland came into talk, and I was playing my last game. I thought it was the last game in Sacramento. It was the last day. By 12 o'clock, it should be traded. And then I'm walking down the aisle, and they're like, dead man walking. You know what I mean? So I was like, damn. So I had to end up playing the game that night. I didn't expect to play because they're like, we don't think we're going to probably trade you, so we don't expect you to play. I ended up playing the rest of that season, and then played a half a season in Sacramento. And I was supposed to go to Cleveland again. And I got a call. My son came and woke me up out of a nap. And was like, Dad, you just got traded. I'm like, to where? To Atlanta. I was like, dang. There was losing record. It wasn't, young guys. But, going there, I think, kind of helped the younger guys kind of push through some stuff. Because, I did a lot of camaraderie stuff that, I don't think that they were doing ever. I'd make sure the guys, come on, let's go to the mall. Let's walk around, go to the mall. Let's go to dinner. Let's go hang out for a little bit. Let's do this and that. And, I kind of took, when I went there, I kind of took the leader, the older veteran, Vlade Divac role going there. And, it was never, I need my points. I just went out there, play whenever you need me. I remember Jamal Crawford saying, upset that he wasn't starting. And I'm like, Jamal, they have to start me. I'm playing 20 minutes. You playing more, you're playing about 30, 35, and you're finishing the game, and you're getting sixth man of the year 3 times. Just keep doing that. And I think he'll probably realize, like, okay, you're right. So, just little stuff like that, helping those guys kind of, get through that. The first, I went there for half a year, but I think we were like 38 and maybe 44 my first year. To the third year, I was there 53 and 29. Just changed everything around. The guys got older, and I could shoot the ball, but I would get the ball to Joe Johnson, to Josh Smith, to Al Horford, Marvin Williams. Josh Childress, going all the way down the line, and it was a lot of mismatches on the court because like I said, I was setting good screens on Joe's guy. And remember, Joe's guy is about 6'8". So my guy never wanted to be on Joe because he's so damn strong and tall and can score at will. So it was never a switch. So if I set a screen on him, my guy really didn't want to help. So he had a lot of things. If my guy had to help, I'd always be wide open. So just the stuff that we played off each other kind of reminisce myself of Sacramento a little bit. But things started to get better as time went on.
So what was that like, seeing those young stars, playing with those young stars? Obviously, Jamal Crawford emerging as a sixth man, but like Joe Johnson, one of my favorite wings, and also Josh Smith.
Just throw the ball. You could throw the ball. You could go on the highlight tapes and look at how many lobs. You should throw smooth the lobs from half court, 3/4 court. Just throw it up by the rim. He'll go get it. And playing with Joe, he caused a lot of attention, and they would rather have me shoot the ball than Joe. So a lot of times it was a double team or stuff like that, and left the other guys open to make plays. So we complimented each other a lot. Al Horford got a knockdown shot, can play his back to the basket. Marvin slasher. He could shoot threes. So we compliment each other real well, and I think that's what kind of took us to that next level.
Hey, man, it was fun to watch. I love that squad. I used to play with that squad, NBA 2K.
That was fun, man. It was fun.
Absolutely. So I skipped over something, and I got to ask you about that run with the Kings. It was an 0-2. You guys matched up against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, and the Robert Horry shot happened.
It was more than that. It was more than Robert Horry shot. That year, we were a better team. we were the best team in the league that year. I know that for a fact. I was in LA, a lot of movie premieres and stuff like that, talking trash to all, all the celebrities talking trash. And it was just unfortunate that we lost that series. I think, like I said, I think we were a better team. We played together better. They had two of the top 5 players to ever play the game in Shaq and Kobe. But we overcame that. I think we overcame that, and it would have been trouble for the league. Not trouble, but I think it would have been hard time for people accepting that, the Lakers got beat.
Yeah, I hear that, man. And I can't lie, being from LA and having the Kings ties on my guys, that was a tough one for me to watch. But, man, that series was incredible.
It was fun. I mean, it was like, you get the people talking, you playing in front of all the people that you watch their movies. And, it's just good to just be entertaining those people like they've entertained me all these years.
Absolutely. All right, so you had a couple of teams you also played for. You played for the Knicks from there, or did you go to Miami?
No, I got traded to the Wizards.
See? The Wizards. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long. It was about 2 games in like 26 minutes total. So it wasn't that long. So I left my contract to go play with the Miami Heat for that year, for the rest of the season. We lost to Dallas in championship. It was just it was a good situation to see. Like I said, play with, probably 2 of the top 10 players, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. Play with those guys and being in that situation. I could say I played with those guys, and Chris Bosh as well too. And top-notch organization, beautiful city, great fans. I just wasn't a fit there. I don't think I fit in there. And I was done after that. Mike Woodson gives me a call the following year. Like, he was assistant for the Knicks. Like, hey, Mike, come play one more year. I was like, nah, coach, I'm done. I'm done. I had enough. And, I ended up going to play there. But it was, like I said, it was a different stage in my career. And I was okay with playing spotty minutes, not starting. If you need me, then I use me. If you don't. I'm not going to sit over here and be one of those guys that give you a hard time. And like I said, make the best of every situation I'm in. And I didn't, I told Mike Woodson, I said, hey, if he's like, I might need you tonight. I said, well, if you need me, you need me. But remember, I worked out already this morning. So if you don't, I'm okay. Don't feel like you have to put me in, And so I ended up, I forget how many games I ended up playing that season. I think we won the first game in the playoffs since the Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Starks, out that era. So that was the first game that they won in the playoffs since then. So it was good to be a part of that. Knicks organization is, everybody wants to play in New York. And to be a part of that situation, my dad played for the team. And just to be a part of that, I have a story because I'm a big believer in, if you're a top-notch player in that organization, trainer shouldn't let anybody wear your number, or the guy, And I went there, and 10 was retired. I didn't want to wear 0 again. I didn't want to wear 00. I wore 00 in Washington.
Right.
I didn't want to wear 0 because Gilbert wore it. Like I said, I respect the guys that wore these numbers. And I went to New York. I didn't want to wear 0 again. So I'm asking my son, like, what should I wear? And he's like, I don't know. So I ended up I just put 10 and 10 together and was going to wear 20. And then I'm walking around the thing and I see Allan Houston. I'm like, shit. I said, Al, I'm sorry. I never meant to disrespect your number like that. And I tried to change it, and the NBA wouldn't let me. It was too late. So I just respect the guys that wear that uniform. Even if it isn't retired, I respect going into that place and not wear that.
And a team like that, man, a franchise like that, there's too many guys that came out getting buckets, so there's not many numbers available.
I know. I mean, Frazier wore 10. Tim Hardaway wore 10 in Miami. What's the guy's name in Washington? I'm forgetting.
T. Luke?
No, in Washington. The Wizards, it's retired.
I can't remember.
But 10 is retired everywhere. I'm waiting for it to get. I'm waiting for it to get retired in Sac.
Hey, is that on deck? Is that coming up?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what's going on over there.
Can we get that done?
I would love for it to happen. Been trying for a long time. I'd love for it to happen, but I mean, like 10's gone everywhere. Chicago, New York, Miami. I mean, it's gone everywhere. 10 was a big time number.
Hey, point guards better get that number 10.
Yeah.
Some people putting in work in number 10.
Yes, sir.
Over the years.
Yes, sir.
So this is Buckets and Breakdowns, man. We'll talk about a couple things. Is there anything that you see in the game right now that you wish you could have implemented in your game? Any kind of move?
No, I wasn't really big on any moves. You know, I mean, a lot of guys working out today with cones and doing this and that. I shot shots. I did 1 dribble pull-ups. I did 2 dribble pull-ups. Transition threes. That's all I worked on. And, I mean, like I said, I didn't try to do anything out of ordinary when I got out there. I would just play the way I played. I never really did any ball handling skills, stuff like that. When I went in the game, I played in the game how I practiced. There wasn't many. It was a lot of catch and shoot, handoff, shoot, 1 dribble pull-ups, 2 dribble pull-ups, and that's all I worked on.
See, that's what people need to know. Players need to know. You got to know your game and where your game fits in the system, and you have to master the system.
It's a simple game. Like everybody's making the game too hard. The game's not hard. They make it hard.
Right. You just got to get reps, man. You got to put the work in, take care of your body.
Yeah.
Know your reps.
It's easy. Go out there, don't try to do too much. Make the right play, and things will fall into place.
Right. So, as a fan of the NBA now and different things like that, what kind of moves do you see? Like, do you enjoy seeing like a signature type of thing? You got James Harden does a step back. You got the side step Lillard.
I can't get his step back down. I tried, like it doesn't. I mean, like I can't do it. You know what I mean? I got the old school step back, 1 dribble in and pull back. You know what I mean? So I like there's certain guys I like watching and playing and play the right way, and like I can see a shot like, ooh, that's a good shot. Like, ooh, good move. Stuff like that. I'll watch it here and stuff like that. But I mean, that's about it, really. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's want to help. You know what I mean? It's too hard.
Right.
Too hard. It's not that hard.
So would you say you would use more of a floater than a Euro step?
I don't think I even ever used a Euro step. I don't think I have. Especially like I used to jump off my left, then land on my left again and go right. I mean, I think they took that out. They call that a travel now, I think. But a lot of guys hop. I forget. I mean, I'll show you when I see times, but hop, boom, hop again, boom, and then jump off your other foot. So that's what the move I used to do.
Oh, yeah, we got to pull that clip up.
Yeah,
we got to find that.
I'll try to get you one too, but I'll show you when I see you. But it's a lot different than it was, than it is now.
So we crossed paths the past few years in the Big Three. I got to see more Mike Bibby basketball for a few years. How much fun was it to play in the league like the Big Three and be able to show your talents and still show what you love to do as a player?
It was great. I mean, no one really expected it to be as big as it got. And I think a lot of guys came in thinking it was going to be easy. You know what I mean? And once they seen that some people were getting embarrassed out there, you could tell some people went home after that first week and started working on their game.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, I mean, it was a great situation for being out there in front of the fans with Ice Cube. I've watched Ice Cube since I was in fifth, sixth grade, you know what I mean? And watching all that stuff and listening to the music and stuff like that. So when he called me, it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hey, Mike, we're trying to do this. I'm in. You ain't even got to tell me nothing else. I'm in. You know, when you get that call from Cube, you can't turn that down.
Absolutely not.
So with being like that, I just figured it was time for me to I didn't have the drive to gear up for it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I was in there working my ass off trying to get ready for it the same way I used to play, get ready for the NBA. And
exactly.
At my age, I was like, after the second year, third year, I was like, man, I can't do it. I can't play no more. I don't want. I can still play, but I don't want to have to gear up for it. You know,
absolutely.
And I figured it was time to go into the coaching and stuff like that. But I mean, it's great to be a part of the Big Three. Still see all those guys, see all the fans, and just be a part of that situation. I mean, it's a great situation.
Absolutely, man. I love to see it, man. Seeing these guys compete again is awesome, and it's getting younger and it's getting more competitive. And it's also great to see you around there too. So
I love being there, man. I love it. Love seeing guys, people that work there. You know, you make friendships throughout the year. Like I said, friendships with you, friendships with the people who are tattooed. All these people you make friendships with. You know, it's that's what it's about.
Absolutely,
being a likable person and being able to put a smile on somebody's face when they see you give a hug to somebody and stuff like that. That's all that really matters.
Absolutely. Last question I'm going to ask you, man. Buckets and breakdowns. It's the coldest go-to move of all time. You got two options: the fadeaway or the sky hook.
I was just about to give you those two. I thought you were asking me. I was going to tell you those two. But I think I'd have to give it to MJ fadeaway. Because, I mean, Kareem's the only one that really used that shot. So, I mean, he perfected it and he probably made it up. But I'd have to say the fadeaway.
Hey, there you have it. Well, Mike, I really appreciate you taking time to talk buckets and breaking it all down, your career, your path, your work ethic, all your accolades, accomplishments, different things that the next generation can learn from, and also your journey going forward as a coach and continuing to impact lives and develop players, man. I know you'll be on the sideline real soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, Thomas, too. I appreciate it.
Man, we love you. We love you, Bibb. So thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. If you ever need anything, let me know.
For sure. Is there any way that you want your fans and people where they can connect with you? Or
no, but I mean, they can find my Instagram, you know, Mike Bibby 10. I don't know if I'm like I said, I'm old school. I grew up with pagers, so you can probably put my name in it and it will come up. But I think there's a lot of fake accounts out there, whatever. Just Mike Bibby 10, I guess.
All right, Bibb.
You know, I like to mind my business, Thomas. I don't get in nobody's business. I like to mind my own.
Hey, and that's all right. Nothing wrong with that, man. But once again, thank you for your time joining me on Buckets and Breakdowns. We appreciate you. And
thank you for having me.
I'll see you soon. Yes,
sir.
sir.
See you this weekend. Thank you.